So I just found out if you put enough sugar in Trader Joe's Black Irish breakfast tea, it's not nearly as terrible as it actually is. So good news right there. I mean, if you happen to have, it comes in packs of 80. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and it is truly terrible tea. So I warned you, but if you have it lying about right there, if you put enough sugar on it, it'll get you going. It'll get you through right there. Getting back to a little bit of a caffeine schedule right there, but trying to refrain from going back to my old habits, of course. I'm not back to the coffee yet, but I don't know. It's that nice feeling of caffeine coursing through your bloodstream that really gets you out and going about. It's really something wonderful right there. We do have a PSA. So I would like to just announce that right there. We're coming from the Hoxworth Blood Center. They will be having a blood drive on campus next week. So all of you out there with your lovely veins and hearts and your blood and all that sort of thing, you should head over to I'm actually not sure. It's either in TUC or the Rec. I'm guessing TUC. They've been doing it there lately. But go online, make yourself an appointment, and show up. The PSA kind of goes on a little bit because there was a bit of confusion last drive. I don't know how this kind of thing happens. And this is a blood drive, meaning that you are donating blood. This is not a feeding frenzy for any sort of vampiric activity going on, and I would just like to clarify. It was very unfortunate, but several vampires actually got up and trudged through the daylight in order to receive some sort of what they assumed was some sort of government handout of food, to sort of get them by through the harsh winters and that sort of sense. But they were unfortunately turned away hungry due to the fact that this blood drive here is not in the nature of providing people with blood rather than just taking it. That being said, though, if you do have blood to give, I'm sure that they do accept vampire blood, but I'm really not sure. So if you have any questions about that, I would consult the Hoxworth Blood Center online. They should probably be able to get you in contact with whatever information that you would need for that regard. So definitely, you got blood. It's wonderful. It's great. It's free. Give it. Save a life. All right. That's all you have to do. And I think they're handing out pizza this time, which I thought was a little bit bizarre, and I was wondering how they're going to keep that up, because if I'm not mistaken, they're handing out free medium pizzas from Domino's if you donate blood. And I mean, that is a whole bunch of pizza. And I usually ask when I go in to donate blood, how many you get this time, that sort of bit. And we're talking, it's going to be at least 700 pizzas at least. That's a lot of pizza. But I will be there in line, and you should be too, because it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to get in the habit of. And again, costs you nothing, really. So get on that, would you? And it's so much better if you make an appointment, because they get you in, they get you out, that you are prioritized. I can't recommend it enough. Donate blood. Oh, boy. On a similar note, though, it's winter and all, or it kind of was. I don't know what the whole deal about this winter is. And I guess it's fair, because the past two, it's been negative 10 degrees or something like that, and it's insane. But it's been very tame, and it's already melted now, and so I'm wondering, are we done? We're going to get more? I'm sure we're going to get more in that sort of sense, but I was just I want some friggin' snow. I want to go skiing, personally. Love skiing. I love doing that kind of stuff, just winter activities. And I don't know, when it's just cold and there's no snow, I don't really feel motivated to go out there. It's just it's nothing special about this in particular. I can go out there anytime, I'm not getting out now. That sort of sense. And the snow, it's exciting. You can play around in it. You can jump around in it. I'm like a child out there, honestly. I think that statement could probably apply to more than just when it snows. But for the meantime, I'm like a child when it snows. Just love running out there, and so I would love to see some more. I don't know if Mother Nature's listening or takes phone calls or any sort of sense like that, but I'm just throwing that wave out there. And if anyone would like to join me in that positive energy, we might still see some more snow this winter. That's all we need right there. That being said, though, it just gets ugly, and I want to go skiing really, really bad, and I'm sure that Perfect North has one of those college nights coming around, so I will see you on the slopes, right? It'll be a thing. It'll be great. It'll be so much fun, because that is a way to be able to stay in shape while we're trying to get through winter, because I like myself, I would be. And as I'm imagining many of you, I get low-key really bad in the winter in that sort of sense, on where everything's cold, you want to reserve your energy, that sort of bit, and I hate that. I need to keep moving, I need to stay active, and so staying in shape, especially for me, is like a big thing in the winter because it's so much more difficult to keep yourself going that way. And I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but I've got 2 office jobs now, and I need to appreciate the time that I get on my feet anymore, it seems like. But it's fun. It's fun. It's learning how to work with a schedule like that, and doing a lot of walking now. And walking isn't an exercise. I'm throwing that out there right now. You can feel better and you can benefit from walking, but it is not an exercise. It is a mode of transportation. It is the oldest form of transportation, and I think that it should be encouraged to view it like that instead of a chore. That's just my mind on that. That being said, though, walking a lot more, it's good for you, it's nice, and when it's not too cold, it's bearable. So get out there and walk if you're not too busy. I don't know, I like to throw that. If I have a couple extra minutes, I'll take the time to walk somewhere because I usually feel better afterwards. That and, of course, the next advice that I give for staying in shape, especially in the winter, is a piece of advice that I tell everyone when they're trying to stay in shape in that sort of sense, and that is start dancing and don't stop. Best exercise for you, I kid you not, right there. It's such a positive energy, and it gets your whole body moving as long as you're doing it right. And it doesn't matter if you look stupid, it doesn't matter if you look silly, it doesn't matter if people laugh at you, because eventually, through practice, you will get better, regardless of your skill level that you're starting at, and so stop whining. I really feel ashamed that my generation here has really dropped the ball on dancing. You know, it's just not a thing anymore. And it's weird. I get to talk to some proper adults, and they're like, what? Dancing's not a thing anymore? I'm like, yeah, there's nowhere to go dance around here. Like, if I have to, what I usually end up having to do is just throwing on the stereo really loud and inviting some people over. We have a private dance party or something like that. No good places to dance. I mean, yeah, I know, I'm critical of music and that sort of sense, and I really hate most of the stuff that gets played anymore. But that's beyond the point. I think that we should provide some sort of safe environment where we could dance to some halfway decent music. I don't think that's a lot to ask, but it requires a follow-up in that sort of sense. So, you, me, getting this together, getting this work in, and we could start a revolution. Oh, no, I'm not finishing that. A dance revolution? Oh, God, I'm sorry. I did not really expect that to happen. I feel ashamed, frankly. Puns are not the way to go. They're not a viable sense of humor. They're mostly just tongue-in-cheek, shameful bits of phrasing that go about, and we try to just live on through our mundane lives afterwards. Oh, I can't stand it. Can't stand them whatsoever. But yeah, definitely dance it out. And if you don't think that you have time for this kind of stuff, I think that it's very important that we all take 5-minute breaks every now and then to kind of just shake it out, get some energy thrown into your brain, because it's going to make you feel better, it's going to make you less depressed, it's going to get you some exercise. It's just, there's no downside to this whatsoever, alright? And if someone's telling you that you shouldn't be doing this kind of stuff, I don't think they have your best interests in mind. And again, that's just an opinion that I'm throwing towards you, because I definitely believe that in order to survive this westernized experience where we are ravaged by capitalism and forced to find a way to survive based on monetary value, I think it's important to find some solace in the ability to find some happiness out of it, honestly. And for me, at least, that's coming a lot of the form of dancing, of exercise, of just making sure that I keep moving, keep going. And I think that you should keep going, too. Definitely should keep going. It's fun, it's great, it's wonderful. And if we do get that snowfall, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go, sledding or something. I don't know. It's weird. People get, I don't know, it's like, I hear that violence goes up in the summer, and then it, kind of tapers off in the winter because everyone's so cold, you know. But I don't know, some people act really irrational, you know, in the winter too, and I just don't know how to explain some people's behavior. I actually had an occurrence at a restaurant around here. I won't name the particular one, but was in there, and there was a customer who was confronted by an employee because it appeared that he had a gun on him. And I know that in Ohio we have the you can bring a gun into, like, restaurants unless it's listed otherwise. But, I mean, like, it still kind of freaks me out. Guns kind of freak me out. Not in this sort of, like, I don't know. It's just me not liking guns, I guess. Which, it's curious because ever since I grew a beard, people are more inclined to ask me or talk to me about guns. I'm not sure if there's a correlation there or if it's just, like, I don't even know. I feel like people are treating me like a proper man or something like that. Oh, boy. That being said, though, so employee confronts the customer, real polite, real nice and everything. It's just like, excuse me, sir, but if you're carrying, a firearm, that sort of sense, like, this is not the kind of environment for that kind of equipment and that sort of bit. Dude flips out. And he claims that it wasn't a gun whatsoever. It was a flashlight. But does he stop there? Does he say, I'm sorry, no, this is actually just a flashlight. If you see here, it's a flashlight. My apologies. I don't want to spook anyone by, bringing a gun into an establishment. I don't know. That freaks me out. No, he overreacts. He's like, I can't believe this. Like, what the hell? What the? And he starts cussing and throwing all sorts of words that Terry won't let me say on the radio. But he's just going on. And it's not really clear on whether or not he had a gun or not, because his reaction, of course, is, I can't believe you would suggest such a thing. Not, I don't have a gun. Which, I don't know. I think that's a plausible reason to suspect that he did have a gun on him. I don't know. I'm not trying to speculate too much on the situation, because I don't have all the facts. That being said, though, he's with, this woman, and they up and leave right then and there. Too insulted, that sort of thing. He was done eating. She wasn't. He makes her leave her food because she hadn't really even touched her, that sort of sense. Really, really bizarre, though. You know what I mean? Just little occurrences like that throw you off your balance a little bit. You don't really know how to explain it. And again, this is a completely irrational reaction. I'm trying to imagine, like, being that person, though. Put myself in his shoes and just thinking, like, what kind of internal dialogue are you having with yourself to kind of play off that whole event as appropriate? I'd be very curious to know, because I honestly can't see it. But if any of you listening out there have an idea of what this individual might be thinking or trying to rationalize this idealism with, please contact me at the Teej page on Facebook. That's TWJ. Like it, please, if you would. Helps me out, gets in contact with you, all that good stuff, passes on information, and then we can regale in this sort of environment in this community that we've created. Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't that sound great? That's why you should like it, honestly. That's exactly why you should like it. Got some weird news coming up, and then we will be talking about probably some video game news afterwards. I got something to drop on you, which might pique your curiosity, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we got Chapeau with Come Home.